All right, I wanted to shoot a quick little intro before we jump into the thick of it to talk about how this video is going to be part of a broader how-to instructional series on what it's like working for a growing startup. Now, I usually post a lot of lifestyle, entertainment, and vlogging content on my social media. But behind the scenes of all of that, I'm actually doing some really cool things working for Socialoop, which is the startup that I'm part of. And we are at a stage of our business where we have become profitable and we are going through rapid growth and velocity, trying to scale our business. And during that process, we are actually learning some very interesting things that maybe could help you as well. So I had the cool idea to package up all of our failures and achievements into some nice little videos that I'm going to shoot and pass on to the people on my social media, aka you, and hopefully turn this into a powerful educational series that other business owners or aspiring business owners could use and apply to their day-to-day lives and operations. But that's all I wanted to say. This is the very first one. I was actually procrastinating about this for a long time, and I told myself to just get off my ass and start filming, and I ended up creating this. So please bear with me. It's only going to get better from here, and I can't wait to see how this is going to turn and develop into something bigger. But yeah, enough rambling. Let's get right to it, and let's see how exactly you can build a very efficient sales funnel without any upfront cost and generate business for your offer using only your social media. Peace. All right, I'm just going to jump into this and walk you guys through this very efficient sales funnel that anybody can set up using a social media account, and it's completely free of charge. There's no upfront cost. You don't need to be spending a lot of money on ads for this. You don't even need to be creating any hyper-targeted campaigns. All you're going to be doing is leveraging the organic engagement you're going to be creating through your content, and then taking the people who engage with your content through this funnel all the way to the final converting tool, which is either going to be a webinar over here or a strategy call. And how will this work for you? I don't exactly know. I can't vouch that it's going to generate results. However, what I can vouch for is that it's generated results for me and my clients in the past. I first got this set up back in April of 2020 with an info business entrepreneur who was selling appointment setting and BDR training on Skool. And we had launched an offer in April. In March, we were doing 0 sales. And from April to August, which is the months that I worked for him for on my retainer, so 4 months, we had generated over 80,000 in sales, so on average 20,000 per month. And all he had were a few prerequisites and some assets. And these were that he was posting targeted content. If you're not posting targeted content, it's going to confuse your leads and you're not going to generate any qualified prospects for this funnel. He also had existing social proof, a lot of it. And that's important for you if you want this to work for you as well, because if you don't have any social proof, no one's going to trust you enough to work with you. If you don't have anything, that's fine. You could take a beta client approach and generate social proof by exchanging your services for free in exchange for case studies. And like that, you can later use those case studies to monetize your offer. And then you could use this funnel. And lastly, what they had was an established audience. Now, they had a following of 10K on Instagram and 10,000 subscribers on YouTube as well. You don't have to have the same numbers, but you need to have at least content that drives engagement either through virality or through your audience, because if you don't, then it's just not going to create any traffic, and traffic is very key, especially organic traffic for this funnel. Now, if you do have traffic, you won't get the same results if you don't have the same amount of audience, subscribers or followers, but you will get something that is proportional. Typically, this funnel closes around 20% of the prospects that go through with it if all the steps are followed correctly. That means 1 in 4 who either take the call or go through a webinar end up closing. But that is essentially it. And right now, I'm going to walk you through how exactly I would get this set up using my existing social media to better illustrate how you could do the same for yours. And I will preface that I have no ulterior motive with this video. I'm not going to sell you or pitch you anything at the end of it. I'm not going to ask you to join my free community. So all I'm really trying to do is really just to pass on what has worked for me in the past in hopes that it creates, some trust or at least some value to you that you could use later on in your business journey. Now, let's get right to it, and I'm going to show you how exactly I'm going to set this up using my social media. All right, let's say for the sake of this example that I am a social media and branding coach, and I'm helping martial artists become aspiring content creators and monetize their accounts on social media. Why am I choosing this? Because Instagram is the platform that works the best for me, and also the content that works best is my Muay Thai and martial arts content. So that's the example I'm going to be taking. All right. So when I'm applying this funnel, the first thing I want to do is I want to build my leads list. And I build my leads list by finding prospects from the engagement I'm creating through my targeted content. The targeted content is going to attract the prospect that I want to work with, and I'm going to sift through these sources over here to find people who are going to be qualified for my offer. And in terms of sources, we have story engagement, we have new follows, and we have post engagement. This is Instagram, for example. On LinkedIn, it would be different. Let's hop into my Instagram right now and take a look at how I would do this. So, for example, we'll go on my profile, and we're going to take a look at my different lead sources. And I'm going to take this post here, for example, which went viral. So I have around 33.7K leads or potential prospects I can reach out to. And my goal here is to find those who are going to be qualified for my offer. So I'm looking for someone who trains, someone who has a social media account, and someone who would be a good fit for my offer. And this person over here, Nikita, looks like it. They have a large following, they have the blue tick, that's good social proof, and they have content that is generating some good engagement. Prime persona for someone who I'd love to work with, and I'm going to reach out to them. And over here, what I'm going to do is just write an opener to take them towards my DM script. I'm not trying to pitch them, I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm just trying to open up a conversation and then get the script going with them. And when I'm reaching out to Nikita, I'm going to send them something like this, which is no pitch. There's no pitch here. There's no selling. It's just a opener to open up a conversation. And like that, I can take them towards my DM script, which is essentially a structured conversation that's going to further qualify them and take them from the opener, so what I sent just now, towards the next stage of the sales funnel. And what I'm trying to look for over here is whether or not they have intent to work with me. And once I get that, I can pitch the call, or I could pitch the webinar. So you're going to take the prospect through your DM script, and if they're qualified to join, you're going to take them towards the next step of the funnel. And if they're not, you're just going to send them either some free value or go your separate ways, because at the end of the day, you don't want to work with people who don't want to work with you or who are not qualified for you, saving time for you and for them as well. Once they're qualified, and I've taken Nikita through my entire DM script and I've pitched the call and I've said, hey, look, Nikita, if I were able to help you achieve X dream outcome, would you be open to hopping on a quick 15 to 20 minutes call or webinar to see whether or not this would be a right fit for you? And if they say yes, then you take them towards the next stage. And in this case, it can either be via the 2-call sales approach or the webinar approach. I'm going to touch on the 2-call approach first, because this is the most traditional one, and it's the one that people use the most. And essentially, what you're going to be doing here is first taking them onto a discovery call, which is another tool for qualifying your prospects. And here you're essentially getting more information to see whether or not, for example, they are financially qualified, geographically qualified, whether or not they have intent to start now or later. And the good thing about this is that it's a very quick call, so that you can know by the end of it whether or not they are qualified for your offer. And then you could pitch the 50-minute strategy call. This call helps you save time so that you don't spend 1 hour speaking to somebody who isn't qualified for you. Very simple. And on the sales call, this is where you do deeper discovery. You're trying to extract more pain points. You're trying to understand what goal they're trying to accomplish. And then you're trying to tailor your offer towards solving their problems and helping them get towards their dream outcome. And if you do it well, then your conversion rate should be pretty good. And that is how you're going to convert your prospects via the 2-call approach, starting from your content over here. Now, let's say you wanted to take the webinar route and you did not want to take any sales call. This is perfect for people who aren't necessarily good at taking on live sales. Maybe they're introverted, maybe they're shy, or maybe they just want to scale this to a lot of people, because the webinar allows you to save a lot of time because it's pre-recorded. You do it once and you could implement it multiple times over and over again. And the webinar is essentially a substitute for your sales call, where you can you can also introduce more aspects of your offer that you normally couldn't do on a sales call. For example, you could introduce your story, where You talk about the problems that you've been going through in the past, which are the same problems that your ideal customer persona is going through as well. You could break their limiting beliefs. You could handle all the objections a prospect may potentially have via the webinar, and then go through the pitch once you've taken them through that journey. And the only issue with this is that it's a general template, whereas with the sales call, it's more tailored towards who's on the call with them. And here, you want to make sure that you get your pitch and your process correct so that you know that you are at least speaking to the person correctly. Once you take them through the entire process of walking them through your backstory and handling objections, then you could pitch them. And you could say, for example, if you feel like this is a right fit for you, then message me back saying I'm in, and I will walk you through the next steps of how you can get started. And once you receive that I'm in, then you can send them the checkout link or the sales page and they can close. And if they have further objections, then you can handle them via the DMs. And like that, you can do a completely no-call sales approach to convert prospects using this funnel. And that's basically it. And once you get prospects to convert or to check out using either one of these approaches, then you can take them towards your onboarding process and begin your delivery. So to fully recap, this is the funnel. It's the crux of it. It's very simple, and it can take any prospect you have from your lead source all the way to your onboarding process using these 3 or 2 main stages. 3 if you count the qualification from the beginning. You are posting content, and that content is essentially creating your leads list. You're going through your initial qualifying process by looking at their accounts and seeing whether or not they're a good fit, like I did with Nikita. And if they are, you're going to send out an opener and take them through your DM script where you're seeing whether or not they have intent to actually get started and work on something like building a brand, for example. Once you have that, then you could pitch a call, or you could send them over to a webinar. And this webinar is going to do the converting for you. Because once you get them out of the DM script, they are now prospected, and now your job is to convert them. And if you create your webinar and you conduct your sales calls effectively, then you're going to convert the people that you generated via your content. Very simple, very easy. There's nothing very complicated to it. And anybody who has a working offer and active social media accounts can apply this funnel over here. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. That's essentially it. I hope this provided value to you all. And I will see you all on the next. Peace.